Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Dividend Diplomats proudly brings to you its dividend champions of the world. You got Bert, the Hurt Locker, Big L, Lanny. We are the Dividend Diplomats. So welcome back to our YouTube channel. We can't wait to talk to you about the dividend stock purchases from the past week of April 5th.
And for all you viewers out there, Lanny and I got 2 words for you. Subscribe now to our channel and then hit that button below. Give us a thumbs up on this video so we can keep bringing you high quality dividend investing news, dividend investing articles, dividend investing watch list. And today, you know what we're about to talk about to all of you? Some of our recent dividend stock purchases. It's been a while. The commenters are noticing, so it's time. We're going to talk about the stocks that we bought last week during the week of April 5th through April 9th.
We're back, baby. As we all know, the S&P 500 has crushed through 4,000. In fact, on April 9th to end and cap the April 5th week, they off at 4,128.8. They started the week at just around 4,000. So when you think about it, in one gosh dang week alone, you know, they are continually setting records, increasing by 2 to 3% per week right now. And, you know, in this wild overvalued market where the S&P 500's price to earnings ratio is a blistering 40, not even just 40 times earnings, it's now 42 times earnings. It is so hard to find undervalued stocks to buy for your dividend portfolio. Bert, what do you think right now?
I agree. It's hard, but not impossible. And just because the valuations are high, that does not mean we are going to stop trying to find undervalued stocks to buy. We want to get our money into the market so that we can take that cash that's sitting on the sideline and invest in income producing assets that's going to grow our passive income and help us reach financial freedom. So yeah, even though it's not raining undervalued dividend stocks out there in the market, we continue to run our stock screener. We continue to build watch lists, find stocks to put your money to work.
Exactly, Bert. And hey, like you said, the Dividend Diplomats always find undervalued dividend stock investments to buy. And Bert, I know you have a very special one to talk about. Hint, all you community bank investors, you want to stay tuned to this.
Yep.
As you both have known, or as the viewers have known, both Bert and I have been purchasing individually different investments week after week. You know, Bert just introduced his new strategy a few weeks ago that he'll talk about briefly. And I've been doing mine since early August, late July, that, you know, almost sound like a broken record with my strategy. But Bert, you want to tell us kind of about that strategy, and then maybe you can kick us off with what dividend stock you bought during this past week?
Sure. Yeah, similar to Lanny, he's been buying VYM since August. He's been building a very large position. In fact, it's the model consistency. When he started, I think VIM was around 80, around $80 per share. Now it's over 100. And slowly, with this consistent approach, he hasn't timed the market. He's been investing that cash, and his cost basis is now well below the current stock price because of it. But as he also wrote about on our blog, the fruits of this investment in the labor have really paid off because VYM announced 18% year over year increase in their dividend in Q1. Check out the articles, check out Lanny's dividend income summary recently, because you can see how awesome that is from an income standpoint. So myself, I didn't have a consistent purchase strategy like Lanny. So what we realized, we were doing a video a couple of weeks ago, probably a month or two ago, actually. And it hit me. The company that I wanted to start buying weekly every Monday for my wife in my portfolio was Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol JNJ. So now every Monday we add 1 share of Johnson & Johnson to our portfolio. It's exactly what we did on April 5th when the market opened. I grabbed 1 share of Johnson & Johnson at 164.68. My wife grabbed it at 164.44. So they were right in line with each other there. It was actually pretty sweet.
And Bert, you know, I know J&J, one of our top 5 foundation stocks for your portfolio, and could arguably be the best dividend aristocrat, period. You didn't just stop there at buying that 1 share on Monday, did you?
Nope, because let's be real. As Lanny said, it's hard to find undervalued dividend stocks. The market climbed throughout the week and I still didn't find any. So we looked towards the end of the week, we were looking at the stock prices and we realized Johnson & Johnson's price decreased down to just over $160 per share. So you know what we did? We said, screw it. We're going to each buy one more share and continue adding there. So in total, we grabbed it at just over $160. I grabbed it at $160.64. My wife grabbed it at $160.87. So yeah, it fell $4 per share from where we bought it on Monday. To me, an easy, no-brainer decision. We bought it higher on Monday. Why wouldn't we buy it when it was lower on Friday? In total this week, we added 4 shares of Johnson & Johnson. That gives you dividend income of $16.16 going forward. And on top of it, we are getting pumped up because guess who's increasing their dividend this month?
Who, Bert?
Not Johnson & Johnson. I'm kidding. Of course, it's Johnson & Johnson. So we're expecting we're expecting a nice 6% increase from Johnson & Johnson, as we talked about in a video earlier in the month.
Talk about well-timed there, Bert. You and your wife scooping up not 1 but 2 shares apiece for 4 shares into Johnson & Johnson J&J. You know, I know that they've been trying to get that COVID vaccine out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that was the reason why there was a slight impact to that stock price.
Yeah, they had those issues with the one factory having to throw out some of their vaccine doses. So yeah, there's some negative news. So hey, I'll take advantage because 30 years from now, we're not going to remember what I bought Johnson & Johnson in today.
In fact, you know, and again, I hate to say it, but they're not even just a dividend aristocrat. They're also a dividend king with over 50 plus years of consecutively increasing dividend.
So Lanny, why don't you talk to us now about your first purchase of the week?
All right, we'll keep this straight, simple, to the point. My wife and I, as we always do, we bought Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF, ticker symbol VYM. If you haven't read the blog article, which we'll leave it in the description below, you know, Vanguard increased, or not increased, but I'll say Vanguard's dividend for quarter 1 was 18% higher than quarter 1 2020 dividend. So all that investing from, the last 4 to 5 months of 2020, plus the first couple months of 2021 really paid off, which kind of reignited my fire to continue buying Vanguard as I approach FIRE, as we all know that acronym. And you'll notice here, actually, in the screenshot here, I purchased 3 shares of Vanguard, as I always do, at $102.31. My wife, in her account, we actually purchased 4 shares because in the prior week, that last few days of March going into April, we actually only purchased 2 shares of Vanguard's VYM because we actually didn't move enough cash into her account for the remainder of the month. So we were only able to get 2 shares last week. So we made up for it. We made up for it here. We added the 1 share to the Monday purchase to get our 4 shares. So in total, we bought 7 shares of Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF, you know, dropping over $717. And we added $21 in forward income. So roughly an average dividend yield of 2.93%, almost 2 times the S&P 500 yield.
There it is. Consistent, easy, no brainer. 18% increase in your income right there.
Gotta eat. Dog's gotta eat, Bert.
Guess it does. So let me ask you this, Lanny. You had the next purchase of the week too, since you made a purchase here before Friday. Do you want to talk about that stock, or do you want me to go into my other one?
No, I'll top it off because it's been a fairly routine purchase. It's almost like a weekly purchase for me. If anybody's been watching the stock watch list that we've been putting out, when we're trying to find stocks to buy, this stock has kind of always been on the list and has remained on the list for the last few months, specifically because 5G is rolling out. They are undervalued, you know, above average, you know, kind of better dividend payout ratio in that perfect sweet spot at 50%. Price to earnings has been around 11 to 12. You know, that big competitor to AT&T. So we're talking Verizon Communications, ticker symbol VZ. We all know that I've been trying to get to 50 shares of Verizon. So in fact, on Thursday, April 8th, I picked up 2 shares of Verizon at $57.66. And then on April 9th, to close the week, I purchased 2 more shares at $57.40. So in total, I dropped, you know, around $230 and added $10.04 to my forward dividend income at a yield of around 4.35 to 4.37%. I still have 3 shares left to go to get to that glorious 50 spot. Again, this was after the ex-dividend date. We'll describe what the ex-dividend date is below. So therefore, the share price came down a little bit. So it actually came down more than that quarterly dividend. So I was happy to scoop up a couple more shares.
Yep, you beat my question. You're sitting at 47 shares of Verizon. You may get to 50 this week. We'll see. We'll have to see in our next purchase video. When will Lanny cross? There it is, Lanny. There it is. Awesome. Well, congrats on adding Verizon as well.
I know I wasn't, I didn't finish off the week there because I know you had a big dividend stock haul that you did during April 5th, Bert.
I forgot, honestly. I put a limited order in for this community bank stock and it just triggered. I completely forgot that I had put that in there. So sometimes it's funny when that happens. I can guarantee you, I will be shocked if anybody has heard of this bank, but
I've heard of it, Bert. I've heard of them.
Besides for you, Lanny. Besides for you. This bank is, Lanny and I love investing in community banks. They're great institutions. A lot of them are great dividend paying stocks. They have a lot of capital. Typically, they have some very clean balance sheets, and that's what we're looking for. What jumped out to me about this bank is their price to book value is actually less than 1, meaning that their equity is their stock price is trading at less than the value of their equity. So that's always an instant piece there. Their recent ROA is over 1%, ROE is over 10%. They have a lot of capital on hand, so it checks a lot of the community bank stocks we invest in. Plus, they're in that perfect community bank range that we love to see of 500 million to 5 billion, because that's the right size institution that we just love to see. Anyone want to take a guess at what this bank is? No guesses? Because you probably haven't heard of them. This bank is Consumers Bank Corp in Ohio, ticker symbol CBKM. They are on the OTC market, so they're not an actively traded stock. Right now, their dividend yield is just over 3%. I added 25 shares at a stock price of $19.79. So I added $15 to my forward dividend income. The one other piece I forgot to mention about Consumers, they just increased their dividend for the second time in the last year. So they are putting that cash to work and putting it in shareholders' pockets because they have a lot of cash on hand and you got to do something with it. So now they've been increasing that dividend for several years now consecutively. So it's nice to see that strong dividend growth.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they increased their dividend during the pandemic. They're increasing their dividend already after the pandemic. That payout ratio seems to be very safe. I think below 30 or 40%. So growth looks like it's going to be there going forward. Bert, do you remember the total asset size for Consumers?
Yeah, let me just look up what the most recent one is. It was 754 million as of the end of the year last year. I'm sure it's probably going to be, let's just say, my guess, if I had to see where this Q1's going to come in, it'll probably be in the 750 to 775 million. That would be, I guess, of where it's going to end. So it's a nice, consistent community bank with a strong balance sheet. It's what I like to see. And honestly, if the price continues to fall, I will continue to scoop up more shares of them because I think there are some great value plays in the community banking sector today. It just takes a lot of digging. And Lanny and I love digging in this sector to find these gems.
So Bert, how much capital did you put to work and how much in dividends did you add going forward?
All right. So to summarize my purchases for the week, we added those 4 shares of Johnson & Johnson among my wife's portfolio and my own. We added the 25 shares of Consumer. So in Johnson & Johnson, we added in $650, and Consumers, we added just under $500 for a total of $1,145.38 for the week. We added $31.16 of income. That gives you an average yield of 2.72%. Again, well above the market, as Lanny pointed out earlier, and well above those high yields we're getting in our online savings account. So Lanny, what about you? Tell us how much you put in between VYM and Verizon.
It was a steady week. As you know, we put in, well over $717 in VYM plus another $230 in Verizon. In total, $947, shy of $1,000. We did also add $31.04 to our forward income, added overall yield of 3.28%. Again, well above the S&P 500. And your yield that you're getting on your Ally, Capital One, Marcus, Goldman Sachs accounts right now. So couldn't be any more excited to put this capital to work as we reach that goal of financial freedom, baby.
And how funny is that? I added $31.16 to my 100 portfolio. Lanny added $31.04. So both right in line. We both added $31. I think we're 31 steps closer to financial freedom, as Lanny just said.
Bert is 31 years old.
I am. That's true. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think of our stock purchases? Are you investing in community banks too? And what community banks are you seeing out there? Also, outside of community banks, let us know what stocks you've been buying recently. What undervalued dividend stocks have you been adding to your portfolio as well? We love learning about all the potential options and seeing what we should be adding to our watch list going forward too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I know we've been putting out more analysis videos because we're like, hey, let's see what the community thinks. Here's our take on these hot dividend stocks. What stocks have you been buying from those videos as well? And here's a big question Bert and I are curious about. Do you guys want a fourth video? Do you guys want an additional stock analysis video? Let us know in the comments. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. It's incredible. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it so you can actually see the transparency that we bring to the table. You got Bert the Hurt and Big L from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.